Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Hey, I'm Listening. I'm your host, Dr. Joan. I'm so excited to be with you. You know that we here at Hey, I'm Listening know what time it is. You know that it's been 462 years since the first ship came across to the North and South Americas. And we have been at it. Our ancestors had their stories, and we now have our stories. And we are building a future, and I'm so excited about what that future is going to look like. So I like to talk to our community builders, our thought leaders, those people who are healers in the community. And I have one of those healers with me today. Her name is Helen Hicks, and I am so excited to see you, Helen.
Hello, Dr. Joan. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here as well.
So everyone, Helen is the youngest of six, twice divorced single mom of five sons. Count them, five sons. She's a licensed professional counselor with her own private practice for over 12 years. And she's been in the mental health field for over 25 years. So you can listen and you can get some wisdom today. So I'm looking forward to all that she is going to be sharing with us. She has a parenting book. It's called The Parenting Treatment Plan. And she also has a podcast called Helen Says, or What Would Helen Say? I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So Helen, tell us, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What are you passionate about?
I am passionate about helping people heal by finding their own power to heal themselves.
So you help them kind of develop their own treatment plan?
I help them develop their treatment goals, and then I help them to see, which skills are effective for them to get to those goals, because one size doesn't fit all.
Yes, absolutely. And so in your psychotherapy practice or your counseling practice, what's kind of like your primary focus, if there's a specialization that you could say that you have in terms of the clients and in terms of the issues that they might be facing?
I don't have a specialization as far as specific clients are concerned. I will say that I love working with individual clients. I think I have the most freedom, as a practitioner. This is just one-on-one with someone else. I know other people out there love working with couples, but, that's secondary for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can understand that.
So as far as my clients are concerned, I think a lot of them fall within the depression and anxiety types of diagnoses. And so I find myself often talking about those two main diagnoses and how they show up for people.
Very good. And so I guess I'm wondering, what made you go into this field? Like, what's your story? How did you even come into being, a counselor?
Okay. So at first, that wasn't my career goal. I started off in college thinking I wanted to be a lawyer, and I went to a handful of classes and did not do well, and was like, "Ooh, maybe this isn't for me." So by chance, I took a intro to psych class, and while we were kind of going through a brief introduction to the DSM, we came across the diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenic. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my mom.
Wow.
So I went home and I immediately showed my dad. I was like, read this. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's your mom.
Wow. She had never been diagnosed before?
Never diagnosed and never treated. So this was growing up all my life and not finding out until college how all of my mom's weird behaviors and her approaches to things and how it made sense in the world of psychology.
Wow.
So that's really...
But paranoid schizophrenic, I mean, like, that's pretty severe.
Yes. I think as she got older, it was possible for a lot of other people to start seeing the symptoms showing up. But for the longest time, only us at home experienced it.
Wow. So then once you did discover it, and then you thought about your childhood and all of those things that you did see, was it interesting to look at some of the things that you had normalized and thought were absolutely, this is just how people are, and then now have to shift it and go, oh my goodness, this isn't quite how people should behave?
It was a little bit different because I was the youngest of six. All of us didn't grow up in the same house at the same time, but like this last four of us, we grew up together. And there was that sense of validation of this is weird. Like,
I see.
So we never really normalized her behavior. We always had this kind of like, this is weird. I don't know if this is supposed to happen like this. So it was that sense of validation, but then going to college and saying, like there's a name for it. This is a thing. This isn't just my weird mom. Like,
yes. And so how did you guys help her to even, like, did you just tell your dad and that was it? Or did you help your mom to actually then become aware of it? And how did that all go?